Hello, good morning. Been a little while. Hello, happy 2022. Um, yes, all the direct decorations have been put away and everything cleared away. Yes, time to really appreciate what this year is bringing. I don't know about anybody that may be watching. I was encouraged to pick a word for the year. I've done this for some time, since I first discovered somebody that suggested that on Instagram. And probably the first word I chose for the year, what was it, probably about 6 years ago, was trust. And probably, well, actually it could have been longer, 6, 7 years ago. That really helped for that year. Some people choose a sentence or whatever it is. This year's word is love, and maybe that seems oversimplistic, but perhaps it is something that we forget that is always there, and that we always need love for ourselves, for others, and it comes in different ways. The sort of classic Bible quote from the Corinthians, and the greatest of these things is love, faith, hope, and then always love. 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago, I decided to do the Course of Miracles with Holly and Robert and Holly Holden, and explore the book, which is quite a tome. I'd first heard about the Course of Miracles via Kyle Gray, who mentioned some of those things, which was basically the book was a couple on the back of a couple that had gone through, were thinking of divorce, and it was all the things that they tried to do to save their marriage. And within the course of that, there was lots of downloads and different quotes that came, and with the reference to love. And I think, there's obviously a journey with all of us, and within the book, and obviously it's very in depth, but the sort of the overriding theme of it is that love does literally conquer all, and love is all you need, which is what, when Robert Holden was speaking with Louise Hay from the Hay House, that was obviously something that she held dear, and the creation of some of her cards. So I suppose, yes, it's interwoven in all our lives. And I think for myself, I tend to pick up different bits and pieces, and then trying to correlate and trying to filter and trying to work out ways to go forward, listening to lots of different threads from different spiritual or other people in the public domain. But at the end of the day, particularly this last 2 years, I think we've all probably come to the conclusion that you have to find what's best for you, and to discern what has been told to you, but actually to go to source, to go to your higher self or the universe, or your version of God, whichever that may be, to really be in tune with what serves you for your highest good. I have been doing a daily meditation, and I've kept that up for probably the longest time, and it has kept my feet more firmly on the ground. You know, I wouldn't say that I hadn't had rocky patches this last 2 years, and I've been greatly helped by doing the courses that I've done to go deeper into spirituality, and particularly with Callista, and studying the archangels, and then meeting up with other people with like minds. And, you know, but she will always say that you have to find out, not by reading a book, not by necessarily listening to everything and going verbatim by what somebody says, to actually discern for yourself and listen to the angels' voices or your own inner voice over everything else, because obviously we're all different. We're all gonna be we're all on a different journey. We all have different past lives. We all have different karmic ties. I have often thought, right, that's it. That's me. There is no further healing to be done. I think I've, cracked it all. This is good. I'm very happy, etc., etc. And then something crops up, and then you have to dig deeper, maybe feel the courage to actually, sometimes actually see what maybe other people have seen for a long time that you actually haven't discovered about yourself. And over the end of the year, the last few months, the beginning of this year, that has come into sharp focus for myself, and I'm sure for other people, where you actually finding that courage to really speak and be authentic and do things that best serve you for your highest self. And this, of course, you maybe haven't addressed because you feel, oh, that could hurt somebody. I don't want to do that. I've never done that. I don't want to change. And then, of course, you become stuck. And, when you do confront it, and those things just sometimes you stumble upon, and then because of the work that you've done and to discover who you are, you actually don't try and plan, don't try and anticipate, don't try and, work it all out, all those things. So on a lighter note, sometimes after my meditations in the morning and being in touch with the angels, I find the morning easiest for me because everybody feels differently. And I was never really a routine person, very, very spontaneous, but maybe that became a little scattered. I wasn't as grounded as I could have been. And I think that really did sort of seal the deal for me that, yes, I did need some amount of routine. And yes, there's so much that can be had from that actual being in touch with yourself on a daily basis, and also being in contact with higher realms. So yes, mostly after I have meditated and healed, self-healing, I will pull an oracle card followed by a tarot card. The oracle card, I feel, sets the energy, and mostly these last few days they have really been very personal, and mostly they are. Sometimes I feel that they can be much more of a shared experience, so or a collective message. So the oracle card, because I alternate, I don't have many oracle cards, alternate between mainly the animal angels and Carl Gray's Ascended Masters. So one Diana Cooper's and the other The Ascending Masters by Carl Gray. So the card for today was Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. So yes, trust. That was the word from 6 years ago. This year's word I feel is love. So Archangel Michael, the angel nearest to Godhead, to Source. He is typically seen, very, very tall, big wings, breastplate, blue, associated with the throat chakra. You can call on him for protection, and he will always help. And yes, the trust aspect, that you are not alone, and it, particularly this morning, I did feel quite a lot of warmth from my throat chakra, which, like I say, he and Archaea Faith, two of the four main archangels closest to God, and that would be blue and gold. So, but I just, I don't really have visions. I don't necessarily. I just see colours, and so the warmth that I feel from the throat, and the colours that I feel or see, are how I discern which angel or archangel is coming forward. So these little cards I made for myself so that I could actually discern more. I can always feel what's happening, and sometimes there's a blend of angels that come forward, and different colours. And as I work through the chakra system, and from the Stellar Gateway all the way through, and the new ones that have arisen, that or have become more dominant, that I think they've always been there, but it's being aware. So the navel chakra, and also the higher heart chakra, but then there's also infinite ones that go above. So Michael and Faith coming in the blue, gold and indigo rays, so that I could learn even more and discern more. I also made some cards to help me remember the qualities that the archangels bring forward. So because I see things in colour and feel things, I just thought, well, I'll make all these different, they're all stars, which just differently, have the different colours. So this is the Faith and Michael crib sheet. And so, yeah, it's saying about the throat, and it's, I've mentioned protection. It's also divine will and power. So coming back into your own power. So on the back of that, I thought I would just do the oracle, the tarot reading like I normally do, and I shuffle the cards. And when I first started to pick up a tarot deck, or an oracle deck, before I went into things in more depth, I just used to shuffle until a card flew out. But now I tend to do more spreading with the left hand and then feeling with the right hand. And the jumper cards tend to be something that happens less. Today, there was a jumper card, just the one. So, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, number 10, which is a completion. And obviously has all the zodiac signs and there are no creatures. There's the golden energy, the universe, and the planets. And yes, I think things are coming around, and that better times are ahead. And I feel that for myself, and I feel that for everyone. Yes, so a little chat away, and or take away, or just getting used to speaking out. And the throat chakra is, maybe I know I've silenced myself, played small, and I do need to speak out more. And if anybody happens to pick up this and it helps, well, that's great. But at the moment, I'm making sure I can project my voice and speak my mind, be true to myself, love myself, and with all the overflow, then I can, that will hopefully touch other people's hearts. So I will sign off, say maybe speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.